Hi everybody, it's me, it's Friday, and welcome to Rambling Vlogs Forever. You all wanted to hear some more stories from when I was in high school in the 60s, and I'm happy to oblige. I just had a hot flash, even though I've been told I shouldn't be having them anymore. I am. Because I can. Now, back in the 60s, in the Secretarial course that I took, there was a thing called, I think, a dictation machine. Now, you have to remember that back in 1967, there weren't, I don't even think there was 8-track tapes yet. No, there wasn't. You only had vinyl records and reel-to-reel. You could have reel-to-reel tapes done, I guess. So when this dictation machine came out, it was really something pretty sweet. And all of us lined up we're sitting at our desks with our electric typewriter. We had just gotten them. Before that, it was the old manual typewriters. Ching, 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 ching. Your fingers were sore by the end of the day. Now we had the electric typewriters, and not only that, but we wore our little, would they be dictaphone headsets or something? They were each one of us at each desk had the electric typewriter and the little headphones. And our teacher, who was just a young fellow, and it was, I think, his first or second year of teaching in high school, and here he was with a classroom full of girls. I think we had 1 or 2 boys. Yes, but that's another story. Anyway, he would make up, or he got them from somewhere, he kept the machine behind his desk, and he would put this, was like a reel-to-reel, like the first maybe cassette, I guess. Maybe that's where they got the idea from, for cassette tapes. And he'd put it in the machine, right? And you'd put your headphones on, and it would be someone saying the letter they wanted to dictate to you. And you would either be taking it down on your typewriter, listening to it, or by shorthand, which shorthand still boggles my mind. So anyway, we would be typing and listening to this, dear sir, blah, 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 and you could type. And and hopefully by the end of the tape, you had your letter done. Now, I don't know how he did this, but he was able to make, maybe it was a little reel-to-reel thing. He had made us up a little music tape, right, of all the latest songs, so that if we had been good girls during the last 15 minutes of class, 10 minutes of class, he would put the music one on, and we could finish up our projects listening to music. Wrong thing to do, because as soon as he would leave the room, which he often did, maybe he went out for a smoke or something, I don't know, but sometimes we would be under our headphones, right, doing the typing thing, listening to the letter being dictated to us by this droll voice. As soon as he left the classroom, somebody would peek out and look down the hall. And then the one that had learned how to use the machine, and it wasn't me, would go and take out the dictation tape and place the music tape in. So that he would come back, right? We'd still be typing. And you were lucky that if he wouldn't look down at your page, because more often than not, I was typing like poetry, love poetry, or typing a message to give to my boyfriend. Anyway, there we were, all looking like little angels and listening to things like Mamas and Papas. Words of love, so soft and tender, da 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 da. And the Beach Boys and the Monkees and all that kind of stuff from the 60s. And we got away with that many a time. Then once he did find out, that soon stopped. But that was a lot of fun, and I had to share it with you. And also, I wanted to tell you about this other teacher I had for, I think it was history. And he was brand new, just a young fella in his 20s. And he was really like tongue-tied around us. And we had this one girl in our class, and her name, and it suited her perfectly, was Stella. I'll never forget her because she was absolutely beautiful. She had the darkest brown hair, was almost black, and it was so thick, and it just had that perfect flip to it. It had deep set eyes, so dark, dark, dark. She just had this way about her, and this teacher didn't like you leaving the room. Like you really had to, like, couldn't hold your pee any longer, or you didn't leave class. That's just the way it was there. But Stella could raise her hand, and in the other hand have her brush, hairbrush. And he'd say, "Yes, Stella." And she'd go, "Sir, may I please leave the room?" We'd all be trying not to laugh. He'd say, "Is it necessary, Stella?" Adjusting his tie. And she'd say, with her brush still in her hand, "Yes, sir, I'll only be a minute." And he'd say, "Fine then, you may leave the room." And she would just slide out of her chair. I won't, but she did. She'd slide out of her chair with that backward glance at him. She'd be gone for like practically the rest of the class. Never once did he reprimand her. At least not that we knew of. Okay, it's Friday, and it's a beautiful day. I'm heading out to the garden. Even the robin sitting in her nest is actually panting. Her little beak is open, and she's not leaving, so I know either those eggs have hatched, or I don't know. And I told her, I said, "Here." I went out with a pitcher of water to put into the bird bath, and I said, "Look, see?" I was looking up at her going, "See? Water. You better come down for a drink." I don't know whether she did or not. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you probably on Monday. Class dismissed.